Everybody, we'll call to order our Tuesday, February 7th, 2017 meeting of the Mason County Board of County Commissioners. We'll start with our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to ask former Clerk Ginger Brooks to lead us today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. The clerk will call the roll, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
And Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffries.
Here.
Very good, thank you. Next, it takes us to correspondence and organizational business. If the clerk would please report the correspondence.
All right. Jesse Sims, Tina Post, and Thomas Hargrove sent in applications for the Parks and Trails Board. Tracy Moore and John Bonin sent applications in for the Housing Authority Board. Aaron Cleveland sent in an application for the Planning Advisory Board. The Local 302 and 612 International Union of Operating Engineers Trust sent a letter for examination of payroll records. The North Mason Chamber of Commerce sent a letter encouraging Mason County to focus on the prospect of providing sewer hookups to the entire urban growth area of Belfair. The Liquor and Cannabis Board sent a liquor license application for the Hub Center for Seniors, 111 Northeast Old Belfair Highway in Belfair. Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization sent in an interlocal agreement. And finally, the Port of Greatview sent a letter about acquisition of 2 parcels.
Very good, thank you. Takes us to item 4.2, which is an honor that I have this morning to recognize for her many years of service, 29 years of service to the Mason County government and community. Ginger Brooks, who served most recently as our county clerk. And so it's an honor to have Ginger back with us this morning, and I know I speak for Commissioners Netherland and Jeffries that we're very grateful for your years of service to the community. And we do have something to give you, and thanks for your service. I'll come around and present it to you if we can. Sorry, Terry.
Okay.
We have a clock here with for your years of service, and very nice front. We thank you for everything you did for the county. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
My pleasure.
Yeah, if you'd like to maybe say a few words.
It'll be a few words, but thank you all very much. It was my pleasure for 29 years to serve this community. And I would just like to say one of the nicest things about retirement was getting up yesterday, looking out the window and going, yes! And I went back to bed. So anyway, thank you all. It's been a pleasure to work with the commissioners and all the other elected officials, this one over here in particular. And it's just been a great, great run of 29 years. And I want to thank my staff as well. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you.
Ginger, I can't believe you didn't just wait till it got to 30 years. But for those who may not know, Ginger chose the date she did because the clerk's office will be rolling in a new software program, and she felt that why learn it and then have somebody else have to learn it again. So I thought that was very kind of you and thoughtful of you to do it that way. And Sharon, your replacement is very happy for it too. But Ginger, thank you so much for your years of service. Thank you for being a phenomenal elected official. I appreciated your teamwork approach to everything. When we had things that we didn't know what to do with, such as courthouse security, you stepped up and said, yes, I'll take it on. And you're a team player, and I appreciate that so much.
You know, we said a lot of good things about her the last time she was here to say goodbye. As Commissioner Jeffries pointed out, though, I want to put that out there, that she retired putting the county before herself, is what she did, which was not unusual for her, because that's what she always did. As we as commission, as explained, we got in trouble. She's the one that pulls us out, and very much appreciated. And I thought about it, and I'm going to simplify it by saying you're a class act. There's just no way around that. You are a class act.
And I just might add, maybe after the meeting, if you wouldn't mind hanging around, I'm sure would like to maybe get another picture with the three commissioners.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
With you and just say thank you again for your service to our community. Thanks, Ginger. Okay, takes us to item 4.3. We have a news release for the Hood Canal Coordinating Council Citizens Advisory Group that I will read. The Hood Canal Coordinating Council is seeking members to serve on their local Citizens Advisory Group. This group consists of citizens from the surrounding communities of the Hood Canal with an interest in salmon habitat recovery projects. Membership consists of representative interests from counties, tribes, landowners and citizens, environmental and habitat interest groups, and business interests. The Citizens Advisory Group is responsible for the ranking of projects to be presented to the full Hood Canal Coordinating Council Citizens Committee using technical input and rankings from the Technical Advisory Group and guidance from the Hood Canal Coordinating Council as the lead entity for the Salmon Recovery Funding Board process. This is a volunteer position with an expected participation of 5 meetings a year plus field visits in April for 2 to 3 days. The term will be up to 3 years. Application forms may be obtained from the Commissioner's Office, 427-9670 or 275-4456, extension 419, or visit our website at www.co.mason.wa.us. Applications will be accepted until the positions are filled and should be submitted to the Mason County Commissioners, 411 North 5th Street, Shelton, Washington, 98584. Very good. Well, that's an important advisory group, and I know, Commissioner Heatherly, you've been involved. Well, we all have with the Hood Canal Coordinating Council, so I think we all kind of recognize the importance of getting that citizen input. And I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, bear in mind, this is the part that makes sure it stays straight and honest with the community and doesn't do things solely for the purpose of spending more money. By having citizens involved, they're actually become the watchdogs, and they make sure that the programs and the goals are achieved without all the political stuff. At least that's the hope.
That's the hope.
So very good. So we'll look forward to seeing a lot of applications. All right, so that takes us to item number 5. This is our open forum for citizen input. Gives an opportunity for members of the public to comment on items that are not listed on our agenda today. We will entertain those comments if you approach the podium here and state your name on any issues not listed on our agenda today. Okay, very good.
Wow, okay.
All right, well, that takes us to item number 6, which is the adoption of our agenda today.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt today's agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Next item is approval of minutes. We have minutes from January 16th, 2017 and January 23rd, 2017 briefing minutes. And then we have regular meeting minutes from January 17th, 2017.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the minutes, January 16, 2017, and January 23, 2017 briefing minutes, January 17, 2017 regular minutes.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from the briefing minutes from January 16th and 23rd, 2017, and the regular meeting minutes for January 17th, 2017. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Moves us to item number 8 on our agenda this morning. It's our action agenda. We will read through the items on our action agenda, and at that point we will entertain questions and comments from both the Commission and the public. If Commissioner Jeffries would read items 8.1 through 8.4. Commissioner Netherland, if you would please take 8.5 through 8.8. And then I will take 8.9 through 8.13.
Okay. Mr. Chair, item 8.1, approval to amend contract C17118 between the Department of Health and Mason County Public Health. This amendment would add statements of work for the Office of Drinking Water Group B program and the Office of Immunization and Child Profile, as well as amend statements of work for the Maternal and Child Health Block Grant and the Office of Drinking Water Group A program. 8.2, approval to set a hearing on March 7, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. to amend Mason County Code 17.70 Master Development Plans, MDP. The amendment will eliminate potentially confusing and conflicting code language related to treatment of open space and density bonuses. The requested changes will also clarify appropriate uses within MDP developments, including the potential for attached residential units and for commercial uses that serve the MDP and nearby areas. 8.3, approval of the interlocal agreement with the City of Shelton, replacing the previous agreement approved by the Board on November 28, 2016, allowing the county to deliver sludge produced by the county wastewater treatment facilities to the City of Shelton's wastewater treatment plant for further treatment. 8.4, approval to reappoint Brian Kelly to the Mason County Civil Service Commission for a 6-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Mr. Chairman, item number 8.5 reads, approval of the amended interlocal cooperation agreement with the Hood Canal Coordinating Council, HCCC. The amendments acknowledge that the Hood Canal Coordinating Council is subject to the Public Records Act and that the Hood Canal Coordinating Council will adopt procurement policies. Item number 8.6, approval to amend Resolution 74-16 to revise the non-represented salary scale range alignment by approving the reclassification request for the Chief Financial Officer to a range 39 Step 3 from a range 32 Step 5 retroactive January 1st, 2017. Item number 8.7, approval of warrants. Claims Clearing Fund, warrants number 8045931 through 8046254 for the amount of $1,110,386.80. There are no direct deposit funds at this time added, and the Salary Clearing Fund warrants number 7002503 through 7002533 for the amount of $501,162.60 for a total of $1,611,549.40. Item number 8.8, approval of the Veterans Assistance Fund applications for necessity items, $900, utilities, $1,381.48, and housing, $1,000 for a total of $3,281.48.
Item number 8.9, approval for the chair to sign the contract with AAA Septic LLC for sludge hauling services from facilities owned and operated by the county. Item 8.10, approval to appoint Kevin Schmelzlin to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, the SWAC, for a 3-year term ending February 7th, 2020. Item 8.11, approval for the chair to execute the road levy certification for 2017. Item 8.12, approval to set a hearing for March 7th, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. to receive public comment on the private line occupancy permit for the transport line under and along property located at 8041 North Shore Road, parcel number 22217-21-00050. And item 8.13, approval to set a hearing for March 7th, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. to receive public comment on the private line occupancy permit for the 3 abandoned power poles and the underground conduit along Cove Drive that abuts parcel number 22021-50-00040. Okay, at this time, if there are any questions, or a member of the public or a commissioner would like to remove any item for a separate vote, now is the time to bring that forward.
I'd like to make a comment on a few of the items.
Sure.
I often say that today we have 13 items on our approval agenda, which represent a significant amount of work by staff, and I've always thanked staff for their diligence and work. So I hate to just have us go ahead and approve without identifying some of the wonderful work that's been done. But actually today I want to, on item 8.3, I thank the City of Shelton for stepping up and helping us out. We had lost our usual vendor to dispose of our sludge, and the City of Shelton stepped up and provided an opportunity for us to contract with them, and I hope maybe they find a way to create a revenue-generating opportunity out of this, perhaps sell some compost. I also want to thank very much Kevin Schmelzen. As the press has showed over the last few weeks, and I think in many places, we've identified that this is a gentleman who came into our community and says, I care, and he's modeled to the rest of us what it means to care for your community. He started an organization called Shelton to the Top. They get out almost every Saturday and pick up litter and help clean up abandoned homeless camps, etc. And now he's stepping up to serve on our Solid Waste Advisory Committee. I can't think of a more appropriate person to sit on that committee, and I thank Mr. Schmelzen for modeling to us what it means to be a person who cares about their community. And then finally, I hate to steal any thunder from anybody here, but finally, I want to, item 8.6 is a reclassification for a true star of this county, and that's Leo Kim, our Chief Financial Officer. This gentleman came in and brought his experience to bear to help bring us to a level of professionalism in our financial services and financial accounting in a way that this county needed. I often joke that we have moved from being a small county to a mid-sized county, and with that comes the responsibility to do things a lot more professionally. And Mr. Kim has done that, and it's with great honor and pleasure that I approve or will vote yes on that item.
Thank you.
I'll add that also about Leo, just keeping it simple, I can tell you what, he's made a big difference, and Karen, you bringing him in was a spectacular job. Right now, we went from probably one of the worst positions this county could have been in with financial bookkeeping and stuff like that to a place to where, as we saw even with the audits, they're able to do all this stuff because we're getting it all put back together again, and a lot of that has to do with him. And now we also have another one on the other end, Jennifer Sleva. Sorry, Jennifer, when you're out there. We're putting some stuff together, but I can tell you what, everybody knows how tight I am with money. This man deserves this, and there's no question about that. And I will also be voting for it with a very happy heart, because we need to reward people that can do the type of stuff that they've done when they come in like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. There's a lot of decisions that we make every week, and a week like this, there's a lot of easier decisions to make than other times. And so I would second that Leo is a tremendous asset to the county, and also point out, along with Kevin Schmelzen, who has a fantastic name, Brian Kelly agreeing to extend his service on the Civil Service Commission. We can only be as successful as the members of this community take control of these things and really give it their time and their own expertise. So just very grateful for people continuing to step forward to serve our county on these volunteer commissions and in a capacity that we really appreciate. Mm-hmm. So if there are no other comments or questions from the...
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve items 8.1 through 8.13 on today's action agenda.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve items 8.1 through item 8.13 on today's action agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. And that takes us to item number 9, other business for department heads and elected officials. I see a couple here in attendance. Elected officials, if you'd like to say a few words.
That's
Please
you.
do.
Karen Herr, Mason County Auditor. Thank you for the approval of that reclassification. Not only is he very worthy, but he's also taken on a whole lot of extra responsibilities that, we have been working with the state auditor's office along with the commission to improve the internal controls of the county, and he's really has the experience, the qualifications to be able to help us achieve those goals. So thank you for that. Just want to remind everybody, next Tuesday is the election. What date is that?
14th. Valentine's Day.
Second Tuesday of February. So there's 4 things on the ballot. There is the Shelton School District bond. There is Pioneer School District levy. There's Fire 13 and Fire District 14 levies. So if you're in those districts, make sure you vote. All the ballot boxes are open except the one at Hoodsport, because there's nothing up in that area. If you haven't gotten a ballot, please let us know. If you have any questions, please let us know. But yeah, so you've got 1 week to vote.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Madam Auditor, how is the voter turnout so far?
Really good.
Good.
The first week is always the biggest week. It's like people, as soon as they get their ballot, because there's everybody was anticipating this one, and so the first week was really good. Of course, we've always dropped off on this the second week, but in my opinion, we really did had a pretty good voter turnout the first week. So we're anticipating about a 50% voter turnout, but so far so good. So keep it up.
50%, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any department heads like to?
There he comes.
There we go.
Dave Wyndham, Mason County Community Services. So today kicks off our Public Health is Essential campaign in Olympia. So as we speak, there's hearings going on in the House, and there's a hearing that starts in the Senate at 10 o'clock. Both of those are being televised. We have a panel of small health jurisdictions and large health jurisdictions and health officers and other interested parties that are going to the legislature to talk about how public health is essential. We're using the examples of the mumps outbreak that we've had recently, the norovirus outbreaks, those sorts of things, and really concentrating our efforts in the next few years on communicable disease. Those things that affect everybody, no matter what county you're in. So we're looking at doing this statewide campaign. Mason County is doing its part, and we'll be participating in the legislative day on March 1st, and going over kind of en masse to talk to legislators about public health is essential.
Great. Thank you
Thanks,
for your-
Dave. And I would just say that as things often go in the legislature, we find that sometimes rural communities are play second fiddle. So I appreciate your continued effort to make sure that we're not forgotten in the budget process when it comes to public health funding, and I look forward to you bringing back some good news. So appreciate that, Dave. Any other comments? Okay. We will go past item 10. We have no public hearings today. And to item number 11, which is our board reports and calendar. So just a couple of items for me this week, and then I'll hand it over to the other commissioners. Tomorrow I'll be meeting with our auditor, Karen, who was just here and speaking. I'm sure I'll get a good first-hand look at how the election is going. The election coming up here next week is playing out. Then tomorrow afternoon I'll be meeting with Alliance for a Healthy South Sound, their staff, to talk about some of the issues that they're working on, that they have been working on, and things that we might be able to take on this year. This is a board that I've inherited from Commissioner Netherland, and they were very grateful for your service and your participation, and so I look forward to learning more about Mason County's role in that alliance. Then I have the courthouse security meeting this week, so that'll be my maiden voyage on the courthouse security board, so that'll be good. And then this weekend I'll be attending the North Mason Chamber Gala, which is out in my neck of the woods in Union. Next week, Housing Coalition, and then MaceCom board as well. So that's kind of my week ahead.
Mr. Chair, last week following our special commission meeting up in Belfair, and thank you everybody for coming out to that, we had on the first, the Wednesday, we had a briefing with the Bremerton Housing Authority Director regarding how our housing authority, what our opportunities are, some of the opportunities we may be missing out on, and basically it all starts with the big takeaway is that for the Mason County Housing Authority to do more than they're doing of just managing the properties that are owned, we need an executive director. So it's the whole function of how could the Housing Authority afford an executive director. I had my first meeting on the board of directors for the Washington State Association of Counties. Very, very illuminating for me. They're doing a lot of things now that I have not seen the WASAC do in the past, and so I'm very encouraged by that. I testified in favor of a bill at the state legislature that would allow counties and cities to use credit unions as their depository institutions. People may not know that, and I said this to the legislature, that Mason County basically got fired by our bank. They said, we don't need your business anymore about a year and a half ago, and we had to go out looking for a new bank. And because of state law or federal laws, we were only allowed, there were, of all the public institutions here in the county, banking institutions, there were only 3 that were eligible, and I think only 1 responded to our RFP. The credit unions would have loved to have been part of our business, and credit unions are a strong supporter of this community, and so there's a bill that would allow credit unions to be public depositories for municipal corporations and counties, and so very encouraged if this moves along. I know that in the Senate it has, at least on that committee, I'm sure it'll be execed out, and then I think the House version's been execed out. Had a meeting with the governance board of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization on some problems with state agency interpretation of a legislative bill passed a few years back. Surprise, surprise. So I'm thinking about if there's going to be a legislative fix, we may have to move towards that, and we'll have a briefing on that very topic this afternoon after this meeting. Let's see, we had our briefings yesterday, and then we had to cancel our afternoon ones because of the weather changes. We will have a briefing following today's meeting regarding the Behavioral Health Organization and the future of behavioral health organizations in the state. And then I'll be representing Mason County on the Olympic Region Clean Air Authority Board on Wednesday. And then I will have a Lodging Tax Advisory Committee meeting on Thursday, and we've got some pretty important conversations, one of them being the EDC had done some roundtables around various some specific industries that were targeted for growth, and one of them is tourism. And some of the takeaways of the meetings around tourism were around as one of the EDC board members says, when nobody's in charge of something, if everybody's in charge of something, nobody's in charge. And so the whole function of who does lead our tourism effort here in Mason County was part of a discussion. There were some recommendations, and so the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee will hear some of those results, as well as there'll be a discussion about what is the future of our visitor information centers. We take in about $350,000 a year on lodging tax, and $100,000 of it goes towards 4 different visitor information centers. Is that the best use of our monies? So we've kind of been putting off that discussion because there are some stakeholders there that will be potentially negatively affected should we make some major changes. I will be speaking at the Thurston Mason Medical Society Forum on our behavioral health efforts here in Mason County. Everything's behavioral health. I have a meeting of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health, the Finance Committee of the Pac Mountain Workforce Development Council, and then back here on, I'll also attend the North Mason Chamber Gala. So there will be a quorum of commissioners at that event, but it is a ticketed event, so if you want to come, you have to pay. And then we'll be back here for our briefings on Monday, and then Monday the 13th also, for people that may be interested, City of Shelton is holding an open house on their comprehensive plan update. So it's an opportunity to see what some changes might be, and probably one of the most important changes in my mind for Mason County is the potential for adding or extending the boundaries of our urban growth area here in the Shelton area, and that'll have tremendous impact and opportunities for, I think, economic development.
Okay, we'll start, as was explained, we did our briefings. Then that evening, I was the guest speaker for the Lions Club up in North Mason. I usually avoid these type of things, and I put them over to Commissioner Jeffries or whatever, but I'm going to have to learn how to do this more because I'm finding out, I don't know if it's because they don't have a lot of membership or subscriptions for the Journal up north or what, but there's a real vacuum of information and knowledge up there on what we're doing, what's going on in the county, even the road construction, the different things that we have. I'm always surprised with how little that they know, where I talk to people down here and they know a lot more. So I may have to step up a little bit and do some more public speaking. I'm not looking forward to that. But, I always appreciate you helping me out on that. For those that don't know, I hate public speaking. I just do my job, and Commissioner Jeffries pulls me out of the fire for the last 3 years on many things like that. I was invited, and I have to make clear, it was not invited as a commissioner. because I guess commissioners and representatives are all trying to get in there. I was invited as a friend to go through and look at the whole operation at the mill over here at SPI. It was, first of all, phenomenal. I've been around and part of that business for most of my life. I've never seen nothing like what I'm looking at. They are, to say they are state of the art doesn't even come close to it. They're making lumber out of logs that we would have not even maybe sent to the shipyard. But it's working, and they have a kiln process that dries it out to where they can even use sapling. They do all kinds of things in this thing, and everything is set up to save money and to simplify it out. The computer will look at the log, it'll twist it just right so it hits for trimming just right to get the most out of it. It has an automatic adjuster for a log that might have a wow in it. It will actually still get a board out of that thing. It is amazing what it all does mechanically, then going down and sorting everything out. There's so many things that they have invented for this place, but more than that, the beauty of it was I'm walking around and they are making a very special attempt to hire from Mason County and Shelton. They're purposely doing that, and as I'm sitting there, unsolicited, they're coming up and saying, hey, yeah, I just closed on my house here in Shelton, telling the boss this, and we go off to another, and you think, okay, that's a 1 in a million type thing. 3 different times that came up. So even the people that they brought in are closing on their homes, and they're living here now. You also have, I guess, 2 of the owners' sons out here. And I met them, and you couldn't tell. I'm telling you right now, you couldn't tell. But this district manager is putting it all together. It was really heartwarming to watch him jump in every single aspect of this company, moving wood himself, everything it took just to get it going and to get it all dialed in. It was impressive. And we all heard about the 180 jobs. They decided to turn a prefab or a fabrication place from a tiny thing into a larger fabrication, and they are hiring an additional 20 more.
Good.
So we're going to be over 200 plus employees there, and they're looking at other aspects and other things for bringing in more because they do care about this community and like this community a lot. And even that general manager has now bought his place, and he is bringing his mother-in-law here, I guess. And so
Welcome,
looking for a
Mom.
place for that. So I just wanted to point out it was wonderful. Not only was I impressed with everything I was seeing, just how much they are bringing to the community. And he did say, he goes, you know, we're not going to be the kind of company that's going to be donating 100,000 here or whatever. That we usually give to our kids for their college. But what we will do instead is we'll bring you all the jobs we can and bring them all local. And I'd rather have the jobs than the occasional 100 grand every couple of years to charity, because those people will bring a lot more money into our charities with the jobs than here being local. We all realized when they laid people off on the last one, it didn't affect our unemployment rate very great because not a lot of them were here. And that wasn't an accident, I understand. So this has changed. I just wanted to share that with you. So it was absolutely phenomenal. When we get a chance to see it, you're just going to be blown away by it. But those additional jobs are great. Then I also attended something that Michael was there. In North Mason, they had a father-daughter dance. And the reason why I'm telling you this, I'm so proud of my community. I dressed up for my little girl. She's 6 years old, trying to make the most out of it because I figured there'd be maybe 5 or 10 men that would show up. Over 50 men showed up with their kids. And we're out there dancing with her, and they were all dressed up. And for Belfair, believe me, some of them were dressed up better than they've ever been, and I mean that in a good way because these are working people. They just don't, but they did for their daughters. I think they sold like 48 roses. So and a lot of these people don't have money to do all that, but they set the price at a price point where everybody can do it, and it was just, I was running around beaming with pride at my community that all these men stood tall for their little girls, dressed up and did everything they could. It was wonderful. I love my home. I absolutely love it. We had, so otherwise our briefings again, oh boy, I got one more thing I'm going to have fun with. I have, in my district, the best fish sandwich you've ever had. It's in my district. It's not in yours this time. There's a little tiny shack, a little tiny trailer that's off of Pickering Road called Clay's. And if you haven't ever gone there, I've been hearing about it and I never went and did it. I finally went and did it. Oh my gosh. I had a halibut, they call it a halibut burger. It was the best fish I ever had. They freshly bred it, they do everything right there, and the only thing I could do was post right away, and I don't do that much posting on Facebook, telling the other commissioners, the best one is in my district, guaranteed. So, if you get a chance, this little tiny place, go out there, it's just off of Pickering Road, it's not even a mile down Pickering Road, but it is that good. It really is. Have you guys ever tried it? Either
I've
one?
had their burgers. I haven't had the fish.
Oh,
Sounds like we may need a fact-finding.
yeah,
There we go.
I think we do. So I also met with the chair of the EDC, took him around the North Mason region, showed him all of our buildable lands and the different opportunities we have. I have a meeting after this with the developer up in North Mason to help try and figure out what we can do to bring some more development and to help this company get their stuff done. A conference call with WASAC on their Growth Management Act, that committee that was put together. I'm a member of that still. I'm still keeping
Did they
that one.
propose any legislation out of that?
No, not yet. I will be attending a Democrat meeting. I have a meeting with the code advisor and basically the hammer of the Beards Cove Community Association, Homeowners Association. Then I have an EDC meeting, and West Sound Alliance is having a meeting to talk about our transportation as we're going into this legislative session. LSC Legislative Steering Committee webinar. I will also be attending the gala, and it brings us back to briefings, and I have to double check, but there may be a Republican meeting to attend.
And I just want to add one additional item that I left off from this past weekend for myself. I had an opportunity to go do like something that I think every kid dreams of doing. I got to ride in a plow Sunday night. So while the Super Bowl was on, I was able to get out with the road supervisor and then hop in a plow and go see what our road crews deal with when the weather's bad. So just a lot of thanks to our road crews that have been out and hustling and making sure the roads are open and safe. And I know as chair, I get the texts early in the morning. Thanks, Melissa. My 5 a.m. wake up call. Yeah, no, that's you do a very good job. And so I just appreciate them being out all last night, trying to make sure that our roads are open and clear and safe. And so hats off to all of you over there. I appreciate everything you do.
So, Commissioner, what was the score when you left?
Well, when I left, it was that's great. It was 28-3 Falcons. We're still winning. So if you're superstitious at all, or a Patriots fan, you're welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll send him out every year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, but just thank you very much for everything. So, anything else from the commission?
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second?
We are adjourned.